Alright, so today I am at the San Juan Loop trailhead, and I'm doing the Sitton Peak hike. It is going to be just under 10 miles, less than 2,000 feet of climbing, and it will be the sixth and final hike of my 6 packs of peak hike. I've been putting kind of the tail end of the challenge off a little bit, and it is now the first weekend of December, so the weather is still holding out. It's sunny today, is supposed to be in the high 50s and 60s, maybe a little bit colder at the peak, but not by much because it's not very high. I did bring my puffer jacket just in case and some gloves and a beanie, but I doubt it's going to be really that cold. So the weather's going to hold out. The trail should be in good condition because it hasn't rained in the last week. So I'm not anticipating that this will be a difficult hike. I'm gonna guess this is probably gonna take 5 to 6 hours to finish. It's less than 5 miles each direction. It might be a little bit longer coming back if I take the other loop. We'll see when I get there if I want to do that, because somewhere in the middle there's a loop and you can either do the same out and back, or you can take the little fork and do kind of the back side of the loop. I don't know, I haven't read a lot about what that second part of that loop is like, so we'll see if I want to go ahead and explore that. It's not a huge detour, but it does add half a mile to the back end, so yeah, I might decide to do that if I have time. I do have ice time reserved later this afternoon, so I'll be cognizant of finishing, trying to finish before 4 o'clock so I can get back in time to take advantage of ice time. But if I don't finish by then and the hike's going well, then, you know, I might prioritize the hike over the ice time. It is 10:58 right now. I was a little bit afraid that I might have issues finding parking, but it looks like there's maybe like 6 or 7 cars here. The lot is mostly empty. My biggest worry of this morning was actually just finding a parking space, but now that there is a parking space and the weather's pretty good, I am feeling a lot better. I'm gonna hit the restrooms before I go and then try to cross the street. I have attempted this hike before in the summer, like maybe 4 years ago. We started too late. It was in the summer and we had to turn around because, you know, it just got too hot and we weren't having a good time anymore. So that was fine. We came back down and had ice cream and it was all good. So hopefully today I'll make it all the way to the top because the weather is much better and I've done a lot harder hikes. I'm actually getting a little bit hungry right now because it's almost lunchtime and I'm debating whether or not I want to get something at the candy store or not. I have plenty of snacks, so I think I'll just have a little snack to eat and then keep going. But it's just an odd time to start a hike because it's late morning and I had breakfast probably around 2 hours ago. Yeah. Well, enough procrastinating. Let's start the hike. All right, I made it to the other side of Ortega Highway without too many issues. I did have to cross back and put the parking pass on my car because I totally almost forgot to put on my America the Beautiful pass, which is required for that parking lot. So now that's on. I'm ready to start the hike. I've crossed the street safely, and here is the trailhead. Alright, I am in Cleveland National Forest, Bear Canyon Trailhead. I believe there's a register you have to sign to start the hike. So let's find that and sign the register somewhere. Huh. Thought it was a little bit earlier in the hike, but I guess not. Alright. Alright, I am about 3/4 of the mile in, and I have a dry creek crossing because the trail keeps going this way. And I'm now in the wilderness area. So let's keep going. Ooh, I'm seeing more trees now. That's cool. So it looks like right about the point of this sign, the surrounding plants have changed a little bit. The trail is still pretty good, but now there's taller trees and more of a forest feel. I don't remember if I got to this part last time. It doesn't feel like I've seen this before. So perhaps I'm charting new territory. Although that also means last time I came here, I only got 3/4 of the mile in. That's kind of sad. So hopefully I'll do better today. All right, so we're definitely climbing now. I'm about 1.5 miles in, and the terrain's a little bit more uneven here and there. Still pretty manageable. I think there was one part where it was just like rocks, but most of it, when it's uneven, it's kind of like this. So still pretty easy to navigate. It is definitely hotter than I expected. This feels like high 70s. I'm hauling my puffy coat, really thick gloves, and I do not think I'm gonna need this at all, because it is quite toasty right now. And I saw about 6 or 7 people coming down, so I think everybody else did the hike in the morning and I'm the only one going up right now. And it's not terrible, definitely not like heat stroke hot, but probably would have been a lot nicer hike in the morning. All right, so this is kind of part of the course for the view so far, aside from the really good view at the beginning of the parking lot that I parked at. You just kind of see rolling hillsides of green stuff. So we'll see if the imagery changes. However, looking at the surroundings, it's not too intimidating of a hike because it's not like there's a giant mountain that I know I have to climb. Everything still looks pretty manageable. I think I have to go rolling over a couple more of these hills before I get to Sitton Peak, so it's going to be some up and down rolling hills kind of a hike to my goal. So I am in this divide here, and it looks like Bear Canyon Trail is this way, 1.1 mile to Four Corners. And then if I come over here, Bear Ridge Trail, 1.5 miles to Four Corners. So this is kind of the loop. So like I said, I'm going to do the shorter route to get to the summit first. So I'm going to go ahead and take a right turn here. And then when I come back, I'm going to come back from this way. Though it looks like that part is more shady. It really doesn't matter. So I'm glad they marked it. Otherwise, I would have thought this was a wash. And I guess they didn't want people to go that way because there's nothing that way. So here we go. And then when I come back, I will... Yep, that one says to Ortega Highway. So it looks like those are the trail signs, just sticks in the road with Sharpies written on it. But still very, very helpful though. Otherwise, if I didn't have GPS, I wouldn't know where I was going. So here we go. A helicopter? Ah, it's a helicopter. Okay. Cool. Alright, so I'm on Bear Canyon Trail, I think, the shorter one. And it's pretty flat so far. So I've done some climbing, but also some descending. And now it's kind of flat. I know I definitely have to climb some more to get to the peak, and I know the last couple of fractionals of a mile is a pretty brutal climb from what I remember of the chart on the website that's talking about this hike. I'm expecting there's at least that, but right now it's actually kind of a nice stroll through the forest. Actually, it would be nicer if it wasn't as hot. Thinking maybe I should have brought a little bit more water. I only brought 2 liters, thinking that I wouldn't really need that much for a 10-mile hike. I know there's supposed to be a spring near the top. It might be super dry by now. We'll just keep an eye out for that. I'll filter some water if I see some. Otherwise, I think the 2 liters I brought will just have to do. I just didn't want to overgame on water again. We're just going to take it easy. Try to go a little bit faster than super slow strolling, just because I don't want to spend forever on this hike. I do have stuff to do. So far, I've only seen, I think at this point, around 10-12 people coming down, because I guess they started the hike this this morning, like way while I was still sleeping or something. It's gonna be pretty nice. Maybe I'll have to peek for myself again. I was afraid it would be kind of too busy and I might not even find a parking space, but it looks like I didn't have to worry about that at all in December. Which is surprising because the weather is still really nice and there's like not a cloud in the sky. Maybe people are busy shopping for Christmas or they're recovering from Thanksgiving or something. But yeah, just enjoying the day here in the park by myself. Well, apparently there's supposed to be a spring right near here called Pigeon Spring, and I don't see anything at all. I don't hear water. It's probably dried up. It looks like it might be right over here because it looks like something cut out of this. So if there were supposed to be water, I would have thought maybe that would have been it. But it is bone dry up in there. So it looks like there's no more water until late winter / early spring. And I took a break a little bit because it's really pretty here. I'll show you. So there was this perfect log here for me to sit on for a little bit. It's nice and shaded. It's pretty good temperature. I'm not tired, but this was just a nice area that you could sit down and just really appreciate the surroundings. And I'm pretty sure that's poison ivy, isn't it? Was it leaves of 3, leave them be? Is that poison ivy? I don't know. Staying out of there, so. I don't know, it just looks like it might be poison ivy, and because I don't actually know if it's poison ivy, I'm gonna stay the hay away from whatever these things are. Is that leaves of 3 or leaves of 2? I don't know. Oh well. Alright, let's go. Alright, this is Four Corners. Looks like there's a view that way. Let's take a look. There's the Ridge Trail. So that's gonna be the trail I take back. That's the way I just came from, and that's the hard right I need to take to Sitton Peak. Looks like there's another trail this way. Just gonna see the view over here really quick. Alright, I'm 3 3/4 of the mile into the trail, and I'm really regretting not bringing a frozen bottle of water. I didn't think it was going to be hot enough to need a frozen drink, but now one sounds pretty good. It's not really that windy, and I'm now in an exposed part where I'm just getting sun, and it is toasty. It feels like high 70s now, maybe 80s. And it's a little, okay, now there's a little bit of breeze. And when the breeze is going, it's great. But when there's no breeze, it's hot. So really wish I had my ice beverage, which I left in the freezer thinking it was just going to be dead weight and I didn't need it. And I was wrong about that. So let's just keep going. Came across this on the trail and I'm not sure what it is. It's supposed to be like a tub or a water container, or it looks like it's buried partway in there, so it doesn't look like it's an accident this is here. I just don't know what it is. Weird. Alright, so I'm a little bit further down the trail and I'm seeing this and I don't know what this is. Is it part of like traffic stuff? Is it part of a plane? Is there a plane crash here? That's so weird. Oh my god, I'm so curious. Oh, it's not that heavy. I just don't know. Probably should go easy on that. I don't know what this is. It looks like it could be like a shock absorbing traffic thingy, because there's these honeycomb structure in there. And those look like buckshot holes. Curious. All right, well, back on the trail. That's a bunch of weird stuff on this trail. But getting back to our regularly scheduled hike. This is the last push to Sitton Peak, 0.36 miles. This is where the climbing is apparently going to get serious, so let's roll. So the beginning of that turnoff, it got steep immediately, and it reminded me of Register Ridge on Mount Bali, and I was starting to regret not having my micro spikes. Luckily it flattened out a little bit more, so it looks like I have a little bit of a reprieve before I have to climb again. I don't know exactly which one of these is Sitton Peak, but it's not far now, and just from the topo map, I know that last part's gonna be like basically almost straight up the side of this thing. So I'm just gonna catch my breath for a second, and then I am almost there. I'm at 4.6 miles right now, so it's supposed to be no more than 5 in this first direction since I took the Bear Canyon trail. So I am almost there, and I'm still in pretty good shape. So this shouldn't be an issue at all. So I think like when I do go back, I am going to take the Bear Ridge trail on that part of the loop before I rejoin the Bear Canyon trail back. And it looks like the view there will be different because it's on the other side of that mountain. So I was thinking to myself, what is the difference between a canyon and a ridge? And I think canyon, is it when you have 2 ups and a down, and then a ridge is just a drop off? I don't know. I feel like I should know this from my map class, but I completely forgot. So I'll look it up when I get home, and the answer is going to be up on the screen right now on why they're different. And so you will find out, and I will find out. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, so I am no longer sure if I'm actually on the trail or I'm on maybe one of the washes that come down the mountain, because it feels kind of like a wash, but also could be a trail. Prior reviews have said that this trail kind of breaks up towards the last push, so I was expecting something like this. I'm just not expecting to lose the trail that easily, because it's just gotten weirder and weirder, but it still kind of looks like a trail, and I don't see anything close that looks like it might be a trail. And Gaia.com seems to think the trail is to the left of me, but the closest thing that I saw to a trail a little bit ago was on the right hand side of me, so I'm still going up. And I'm pretty confident I can come down this thing. Thank goodness I have hiking sticks. Kind of starting to wish I brought the micro spikes, because that would really helped here, because this is definitely Register Ridge level grade. Regardless, I should be less than a quarter mile there now, so I'm gonna keep going. Still making good time. Oh boy, that last part. I went up a not trail, thinking that was the more correct direction to go according to my GPS, and had to slide my butt back down because it ended up being a dead end. Luckily it wasn't too long before I figured that out. And then there are some parts where I just had to get down on all fours and scramble because the hiking poles weren't working with the terrain to actually help me climb up. So I'm almost at the top now according to the 2 people that just went down, and I check out this view. It's a bit windy up here, but that is a really gorgeous view of the mountains. It almost looks like the background of a Mario level, kind of. Like, it's just so oddly placed that it looks like they're kind of lined up. It does look like the background of a Mario world. So according to the ladies I passed, the top is just up there, so let's keep going. This part, This trail though, most of the beginning was kind of easy, and then it got a little bit more complicated, and that last part was just really not what I expected. Wasn't in danger of getting lost, but definitely not actually sure the trail was actually happening. And I think we go this way. There's supposed to be like a post and some wooden signs. I don't seem to get up here right now, but I think it's this way. Or is it that way? Oh my God. You know, let's just head this way and see. Is it a dead end? Oh boy. Oh no, okay, we're good, we're good. Okay, and then looks like that way just goes there somewhere, I don't know. But this is trail-like looking enough for me. Oh, here we go. There's the post. Yeah, that's the top. All right, I'm gonna have to get down and scramble, so I'm gonna put my phone away for a second. All right, here's the peak. That's where the sign's supposed to be. I got some wooden signs here. There are those funny looking Mario level mountains. Let's see if I can set up for a shot here. Oh, those are really pretty. I see why people have that in the background for posing right now, even though the light kind of works better if I pose this way, because there's the actual sun. See if I can set up my little mini tripod and take some photos and video. Alright, so I just came down that last point, 3-6 miles, and yeah, that was a hard descent. It wasn't hard in the sense that I didn't know where I was going, because I went up there, I knew how to come back down, but some parts of it were really slippery, and it was good I had my hiking poles. If I do come back again, I might actually bring the micro spikes for that section, because I was concentrating very hard on the really steep parts, and on only the sort of steep part. At one point I almost slipped. So definitely that last part was kind of tough. And as I was coming down, there's these two ladies. They're like, oh, it's not even half a mile. And I kind of wanted to turn around and tell them this is like the hardest 0.36 miles of the entire trail. But they'll find out soon enough. They'll find out. So now I got a notable amount of uphill, and then it should be mostly downhill / gentle rolls back down. So just this last part on the uphill, and then I should be golden. All right, I am on the Bear Ridge Trail on my way back, and I thought there might be better views kind of on the other side, but the brushes and the plants are so high that it's really hard for me to see anything. I guess maybe if I was a little bit taller. So there's no grand view from this side yet. On the topographical mapping, it looked like there might be a couple of good places for a good view, but it looks like I'm just climbing extra and really not seeing like a grand, beautiful view. Let me show you what the trail looks like. So yeah, it's just like that, and you see that, which you could see on the other side. And then it's just like plants on this side. It's about the same real estate. It's not that much higher than the other side. Though what was funny was that when I went back to Four Corners, the first time I was there, I thought I heard voices, but I was like, oh, but I don't see anybody coming. And then when I was going back, I saw that someone had set up a tent kind of like off on the side, but you could still tell there was a tent there. So I guess someone's like set up for the night. They're going to camp here. I need to check if you can camp here, because that might be kind of fun. You know, if there was water and stuff. I mean, up to Four Corners, the trail wasn't that hard. So if I had to schlep like, you know, water, I think I could do it. And it would be a nice camping site just to get away from kind of the city. Not majestic views or anything. I still kind of kept in my mind that maybe I wanted to do San Jacinto and try to succeed this time as the finale hike. But no matter how I cut it, for a winter hike, I just don't think I have the strength to do it right now. Even if I started at Marion Mountain Trail, it might be kind of rough. I guess it's not quite winter yet, but it's late fall, so the days certainly shorter. Even with good weather, it's kind of cold and high altitude, and I'd have to start really early in the dark and or maybe finish in the dark. So I decided I would try it again because I knew it's gonna nag me unless I can finish that trail from the Deer Springs trailhead, which means that would be like a 21 mile hike. Not that I think I have a problem doing a 21-mile hike, it's just the daylight, the training. If I'm faster, I think I can do it late spring, no problem. So I think what I'll do is wait till next spring, do the hike. I'll have access to the water because right now the springs are dry, so it's a very bad time to attempt to do a 20-mile hike. And even if I did the Marion Mountain Trail hike or from the airway, it still wouldn't feel like I've completed it. I'll train through that through winter, and then hopefully I'm ready to tackle it in spring. I do want to do the Marion Mountain Trail hike as well because there's beautiful views generally in that area. Maybe do the Palm Springs Airway because that's still a very challenging hike. I mean, it's still like 2,600 feet of elevation, even as a shorter hike. It's still no joke. Yeah, so that's in store for next season. I don't know if I'll do the 6-pack of peaks again. It was nice because it kind of pushed my boundaries on which hikes I actually went and did. But some of the hikes I'm just not sure I really want to do again. Like Mount Wilson, I don't know. It wasn't really that great, and it was really hot, and some of it was just like trudging around on a road. I don't know if I'd do that one. Plus it was really anticlimactic when I got up there. It was just like, oh, these people walking around because they drove up there and I schlepped my butt 7.5 miles up there on a really hot day. Don't know if I'll do that hike again. Cucamonga Peak, that was pretty. I'll do that again. Mount Baldy, I don't know. I mean, you know, most of the ones I did in the summer, like some of it was kind of painful, so maybe I just need to pick a different season to do them. But Mount Baldy was like, I think it would have been less demoralizing if the signs weren't just blatantly stating wrong mileage information. Also, I guess if I brought my water filter, that would have been better too, because I was starting to run out of water, and I ran into this dude that ran out of water, and it was just bad times for everyone because what we thought was a 4-mile hike down turned out to be like 6 miles, so that was not cool. Yeah, and the views were like aight. Whereas Mount San Jacinto, I mean, that's gorgeous. That's the one place I think looks like Yosemite without actually being Yosemite. So I'll definitely go back there. I might make a longer kind of day out of it because I was exhausted last time. That drive out was rough and I was already tired. And then that drive back, I almost threw up at the Target on the way back because it was like the altitude sickness and just other GI issues I was having on that hike. And I think it had to do with me running around trying to find a bathroom in the morning. It was just a bad day. So I think next time maybe I'll pick like a weekday where I'll go kind of in the afternoon, stay at like a lodge or something there. Start the hike super early in the morning, fresh from bed, without a 2-hour drive ahead of me. And then do the hike and then just hang out, stay like another day or two, just because it's a very pretty area as well. Definitely more than one place I want to see up there. So I'll go back there. San Gorgonio, also very, very nice. I don't know if I'll go all the way to the peak again, but I definitely want to go camp there as well. Gorgeous area. So yes on that one. But yeah, Mount Wilson, Mount San Antonio, I don't know. Plus the Cucamonga Peak. Yes, it's pretty. I think it's a good hike. The only challenging part is the parking really sucks. But that's kind of part of the course for all the hikes, except for this one today, which for some reason, no problems whatsoever with finding parking. I think just because it was kind of getting late in the season. But yeah, so that's my thought on the 6-pack of peaks. I'll see if I want to do it again. There's definitely at least 2 hikes on this list that I haven't done, maybe 3. I think there's like 9 to 11 hikes. That's part of the challenge, and of course I only did 6. So yeah, I might do it one more time. And also the money goes to a good cause. It supports kids doing hiking and nature stuff, which is why I signed up in the first place. So yeah, I might do it again. Although I might, make some decisions on some of the hikes to just see something new next season instead of just the same old 6 peaks that I've already done. Definitely at least one new one, because I know if I do it next year, Mount San Jacinto is going to be on that list somewhere. All right, so Canyon Trail so far. I don't know. I think I'm in the Ridge Trail. I think I should have just stuck with the Canyon Trail. So I'm paying an extra half mile, and I'm just not really getting a whole lot of views. I'm just getting surrounded by these plants here. Yeah, the other trail, the Bear Canyon Trail, is better views, more flat. I am doing a lot of up-down rolling that I didn't have to do on the Canyon Trail, so I guess I'm getting a better workout, but that's about it. So I'm just gonna speed up because I have an ice session that starts in about 2 hours, and I don't think I'm gonna make it for the start, but we will see. If I don't make that, I'm gonna see if I can go to the 8 o'clock one if my legs are still good. But yeah, let's keep going. Well, I guess this is the bonus view that I get from this side on the Ridge Trail instead of the Canyon Trail. Also, there's like something squeaking behind me. It's a bird. I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, this part of the trail is definitely less well maintained than the Bear Ridge Trail. I'm sorry, Bear Canyon Trail is the well maintained one, and the Bear Ridge Trail is the one that's kind of like, garbage, a little bit garbage. Not terrible, but not as nice. Also, a lot more rolling up and down on this side, with just that one view that you saw over there. Other than that, it's kind of like, it's okay. It's not super exciting. I'm almost back at the part where the 2 trails meet up anyway, so not too much to be regretful about picking this side, I suppose. Yeah, this is really kind of bumpy. I really gotta watch my steps. So, just one more view here. And then back to the hike. Alright, so it is almost 4 o'clock and it kind of feels later in the day. The sun is definitely on its way down. I think I'll still make it back to my car before it sets, but it feels much later in the day compared to my other hikes because the sunset is earlier right now. And I think I've just got mostly downhill left. There was some uphill, and of course the extra up and down in the Ridge Trail that I took. But I think now we're firmly back on the mostly downhill, mostly nice trail surface part of the trail. So we're good to go. So I don't know if I'm gonna make my figure skating session, but I'm gonna try. At least that session is 2 hours long, so if I just make it for the back half hour just to skate around, there's at least that. But there's also another session at 8, so I'll get signed up for that. And they give you a bunch of free passes to use for the practice sessions, and I am still at 10 left, I think. So 10 left for maybe the week and a half. Yeah, I have plenty of passes to use as long as there's open spots at the 8 o'clock session, which I guess I'll check once I get back to cell service of some sort. But right now I'm just trying to move a little bit faster so I can get back faster. And the view's kind of like even on the way back. Though it has cooled down a little bit now that the sun has gone. I'm not getting any direct sunlight right now. It's notably chillier. This would have been the perfect temperature for the climb. So I think, yeah, it would have been much more fun coming in the morning. But I am glad that I made this hike before things start getting crazy with the weather and just Christmas and New Year's. So it's in the bag. Once I get back to my car, I finish the 6-pack of peaks, as long as I write that entry on the website, and then that is the challenge in the bag. So just trying to get things done. And now I'm thinking about what I'm going to eat when I get back to the candy store at the beginning of the trail. I think I'm going to have some ice cream and then something to eat before I actually go to the ice skating session, because I am kind of getting hungry. I really just want some ice cream and an ice drink right now, which they have both of those at the Ortega Highway candy store. That is my next goal in life, is to get to that candy store. So let's go. Right, so I am about half-mile from the end of the trail, and you can see the parking lot right there where I parked my car. I think there's like 4 cars there right now. And then to the right is kind of the candy store. So that's where I'm going to right now. And the sun is definitely setting. It's like 4 something right now, and we're already losing light. So I think priority 1 is just grab some ice cream and a soda and just get out of the mountain section, because they're doing a lot of construction on the road right now on Ortega Highway, because I guess there was that old landslide that they had to clean up. So you saw that they carved like into the mountain to clear the road. So I don't really want to drive around that after it's dark. So I think I'll still have time to grab that ice cream. I just won't dilly-dally for too long. But it's been a pretty good hike. It's not too tough. Got a little tricky there at the end, and it was kind of nice because it wasn't too busy. I think if it was busier, it would have been a harder hike, because you'd have to like navigate around people and stuff a lot more. So yep, just gonna wrap up this less than half mile, and you can see that sun setting behind me. I'm trying to do this without the hiking sticks just to get used to going downhill on a trail. So I do want to start trail running at some point. It seems like a lot of fun. So you really gotta pick out the good trail running spots, because I don't want to sprain an ankle. At my age, not good. So oh yeah, I'm like super close to the candy store. I think it's just like a 1 turn around. I can see the roof of the candy store. I'm almost there. I'm gonna start speed walking so I can get to my candy faster. Looking at the sign-in sheet again, it looks like you can camp overnight. You just need an overnight camping permit that you need to contact the Tribuco Ranger District office with, and you get the free permit. So bring a map, plenty of water. So I might try that eventually. Right, I am back down to the candy store. I actually don't know if they're open right now, because it's kind of late for a fall day. I think I see an open sign. Yeah, I mean, there's some lights. I just don't know if they're for sure open. That was my 10-mile mark. So it says coffee. I'm gonna go take a look. Hopefully they're open. Oh, candy store. Oh no, they're closed. Oh, I just missed it. Oh man. Oh well, I guess they closed at 4. That's okay. I'll just there's an in and out down the mountain, so I guess this will prioritize the getting off the mountain first, and then I'm gonna grab some snacks at the in and out, like maybe a milkshake or something. Actually, if I'm going down there, I might as well just get a burger. All right, I'm trying to cross the road. it gets kind of busy here sometimes, so I'm just trying to... All right, good. Let's go! You get a better view of the road coming back because you're on the other side of the turn, so it's easier to see if you're gonna make it. Yeah, that is the hike. I'm just mildly sad I missed the candy store, but I'm not so beat up that I can't wait till I get off the mountain to get to the In-N-Out and get some milkshake. Let's just get in on that action. If I don't film anymore, that was the hike. I liked it. It wasn't that hard. That last part got a little bit weird, but nothing I couldn't eventually figure out. And the summit area was kind of small, and there's some great views. Definitely there are hikes with better views, but this is a pretty nice, like, get in, get out kind of hike. Also, the parking's agreeable today, so that already added like extra points. Otherwise, that was the hike. So I'm gonna hop back in my car and get that milkshake at In-N-Out. All right, see ya. All right, so I made it to half an hour of skating and I'm exhausted. I couldn't even jump. So it's done.